Well, as Turkey's president declared a state of emergency on Wednesday, he lashed out at the American credit ratings agency Standard & Poor's. He said S&P shouldn't mess with Turkey after the agency cut its rating and gave it a negative outlook, meaning additional downgrades could follow. S&P warns that Turkey faces unpredictable cash flows because of last week's failed coup. The agency also says the polarization of the political landscape has eroded institutional checks and balances. Well, TRT World's Alijan Ayanla has more from Istanbul's financial district.
On Wednesday afternoon, S&P downgraded both the sovereign credit rating as well as the economic outlook for Turkey following Friday's failed coup attempt, stating that the polarization within politics had further eroded the checks and balances. It went on to say that they expected a period of heightened unpredictability and uncertainty. As a result, the Turkish lira fell to its lowest level against the dollar, surpassing a previous low hit back in September of 2015. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan lashed out at the statement, asking what business S&P had in Turkey and that Turkey wasn't even a member.
What does S&P have to do with Turkey? Turkey is not their member right now. S&P did exactly the same thing before. We said we do not have anything to do with them and cut our relations with S&P. This is a political decision. They are trying to see if investments in Turkey would stop if they made such an announcement.
This isn't the first time that President Erdogan is questioning the legitimacy of these credit rating agencies, saying that they tried to play these political games in the past, it hadn't worked then, and that it wouldn't work this time either.
Well, for more on this, we're joined by Mike Ingram now at BGC Partners in London. Mike, if we can just start with some of this rather complex terminology. S&P is worried about unpredictable capital outflows. Can you just break that down for us, please?
Yeah, so Turkey runs quite a sizable current account deficit. It's between 4.5% and 5% of GDP, of the size of the economy. Quite simply, there's more cash leaving the country than is coming in. In order to plug that gap, Turkey needs to attract foreign exchange. One way to do that is through foreign direct investment, and that's probably a good thing when that happens. Tourism receipts might be another element, and another element which I'm afraid is quite prevalent in the Turkish makeup is actually just borrowing in foreign currency, and you've seen quite a lot of companies load up on foreign debt over recent years, and of course that raises the question of sustainability. And this is one of the concerns that the S&P is highlighting in this downgrade that we've seen.
Mike, we spoke to Turkey's Deputy Prime Minister a couple of days ago. He said the coup was over, or the attempted coup was over so quickly it didn't seem real, and really that there will be no impact on the economy. And now we've heard the president saying this is a political decision. What do you make of it?
Well, I mean, the coup is over, but the state of emergency has just been initiated. So I think there's no question that there's going to be any quick return to business as usual. As I just mentioned, tourism receipts is a very important flow of capital into the Turkish economic system. Of course, we've seen already a hit on tourism. Many people have cancelled previously planned trips to the country. There are, of course, perhaps broader questions about the investment environment. Going forward, of course, companies that want to invest in Turkey have got to make long-term plans. And, you know, something I think I mentioned to you on Monday is there are question marks over the institutional integrity of Turkey. The central bank, for instance, has had an inflation target of 5% since 2012. It's missed it every year.
And one last question, Mike. Let's just rate the ratings agencies for a moment. A lot of people don't trust them after the whole big financial crisis with the subprime mortgage market and so on. They were responsible for rating those sort of financial instruments, and they got it so very badly wrong. Do you think that it's right to have doubts over their methodology? I mean, one of the big Turkish politicians said they were acting prematurely.
There may be an element of that. I mean, certainly in the great financial crisis 8 years ago, they were certainly too slow to react. And of course, many of the ratings that they attached to supposedly riskless assets turned out to be horribly, horribly wrong. So maybe we pulled too much in the other direction. Maybe this reduction is indeed premature. But I'd also point out that the other large rating agency, Moody's, is also looking at Turkey's sovereign position. At the moment, they have Turkey at investment grade, just about, but they may also be willing to pull the trigger on the downgrade to junk status as well. So yes, S&P might look like an outlier, but I think that the direction of travel is pretty clear at this point in time.
OK, Mike Ingram in London, thank you for your analysis.